Hey friends, okay, so today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you what to do with blessed salt, why to have blessed salt, how to get blessed salt, and in your daily life, what to do with blessed salt. Sometimes you hear these things like, oh, Catholics have blessed salt, and you're like, you kind of leave it there, but what do we actually do with the blessed salt? That is the question. A lot of people say that those are just good luck charms. It's a weird Catholic thing to have like these little sacramentals, we call them, where they're images and salt and holy water, and they're blessed by a priest, and that those are just, you know, our kind of way of having a good luck charm, and that is not it at all. So in the Catechism in paragraph 1670, it says that sacramentals are to connect the natural to the supernatural, right? Like that is the whole point of having sacramentals. We want them all over in our house. We want to be surrounded by them. They are blessed by a priest. They do need to be blessed by a priest for them to be a holy water or a holy salt, blessed salt. So they do need to be blessed by a priest because God gave authority to Peter, right, the first pope, and he passed down that authority. So there is a special blessing when it comes from Christ, right? And so he represents Christ. Like God gave him a special authority to bless these objects and to help these objects to help us to Christ ultimately. That is the whole goal of sacramentals and the Catholic faith, is to get us closer to Christ. And so the point of these are to ultimately always draw us closer to God. And so that's like what a sacramental is. Okay, so something interesting about sacramentals. So if a priest has blessed something, you know, a rosary or a picture or, you know, holy water, whatever, you can give it as a gift freely, but you can never sell that object. And if you do, then that's fine, but that object does not have the same blessing that it got, if that makes sense. So there are people who are like, here, buy this rosary blessed by the Pope. And you're like, oh, that's great. A rosary that was blessed by the Pope. It loses the blessing if money was given. Now, there are some ways around it, like if you donate, I guess that works. But really, you want to give, you know, if you have a blessed rosary by a Pope, you want to give it to somebody. You don't want to exchange money, okay? Like that, like God really doesn't care about money. He just wants you to have things that help people, if that makes sense. So what you want to do is you can use any kind of salt. So like table salt, super cheap, right? At the store, this pink salt. It's a little bit more expensive. Any kind of table salt will work for this. And pretty much what you do is you go and you wait for the priest, maybe after Mass, you know, you let him say hello to all the people leaving, and then you be the last person and you just say, Father, can you bless my salt or my holy water, my rosary, my miraculous medal, whatever it is. And that's usually where I ask. You can always go to the office, and priests should always be happy to bless your objects because they know the power of the Holy Spirit and like the authority God gave them. So now I'm gonna get into what to do with salt, right? Like what do you do with all the holy salt? Okay, so let me explain this little thing. This actually is a spice jar, and it has basil in there, and so I had it emptied, and so I put salt in there, and you can get that blessed. Just open it, you're like, Father, can you bless my salt? Right? And so that's an easy way to just hold all your blessed salt. But pretty much some things that you can do with blessed salt is what my mom did growing up. She would take the blessed salt and she would put the salt all over on the doors, like where the doors are, or if there's a window seal, she would put all the salt to the window seal and she would say a prayer. But pretty much just, you know, maybe like every week or month, go and bless your house, you know, and say a little prayer. So that's one thing that you can do with the salt. When you're traveling, you could also, that's what I love about this little thing, is you can take it with you. So if you're going to Greece, or you're going to, you know, your camping site, or wherever you're going, you can take your blessed salt and you can bless wherever you are, the room that you're staying with, especially if you're staying in a hotel. Some crazy things happen in hotels. Take your blessed salt. and just like do a blessing. You can also take holy water, obviously. You can eat blessed salt. That is okay to eat blessed salt. Not a problem at all. So you can cook with it. You're kind of blessing your family, and you know, while you're cooking, you can always say prayers, right? Like, I pray that this salt helps my children to be salty, and that they are the salt of the earth. You know, like you can really use salt to bless your family through cooking. The reason that I like having a little thing like this, and you can have big things of it too. So I just encourage you to write on there blessed salt, so you know it's blessed salt. But pretty much I like having a little thing like this, because if you have to run to the ER, or you know, there's an emergency, take your blessed salt with you and just like sprinkle the blessed salt around whoever it, you know, if you go into the ER room or you're going to the hospital, if somebody is about to die, you take your blessed salt and take your rosary and do your prayers, but put the blessed salt all around them. So you really want to take this wherever you go. In your car, you can bless your car. Make sure that, you know, ask the holy angels to guide your car and to protect you in your car. So something else you could always do, I have a little Zachary, and he has the best imagination. He has a very active imagination, but something that I notice about some kids with active imaginations is they get scared really easily. Like he, you know, might think things are there, like shadows, he sees shadows or whatever. And so, so they get pretty scared, right? And so I gave him a St. Benedict medal, and that seems to really help. And of course the miraculous medal too. But if you take holy salt and you kind of bless his room, bless his bed, you can put it on right on their beds. And you could always leave a little bit next to their bed. So if they're like, I'm so scared, it's something like proactive that they can do, like take the salt and put it around their bed and ask the Holy Spirit to be there to protect them. And you know what I mean? You can do things like that too. So that is something like kind of active with kids that you'll want them, like they will be able to be like, oh, I have my blessed salt and God's gonna take care of me, and you know, I'm protected. So also going along with, you know, putting salt around your house, if you're building a house, you can put blessed salt throughout the building process. So that salt will be there forever pretty much. But just knowing that your house is blessed and blessed by a priest, that this is kind of a wonderful way that we can bring heaven down to earth and to protect us and to bring us closer to God. Like I said, all these sacramentals are supposed to bring us closer to God. That is the whole point of them. And so those are my ideas. If you have other ideas that I didn't think of, or maybe you watched another video or something like that and there's some I forgot, please put them in the comment. Or if you have any stories about holy salt, I love hearing people's stories of like miracles that have happened and things like that. And so anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video, and until next time, I will see you all later. God bless. Bye.